Hey folks, Brad here with the Maritime Paintball Podcast, back again with another review. But before we get going, just want to say thanks to DEFCON Paintball Gear for sending me this marker, at least on loan, so that I could do the review, play around with a little bit, and make me want one. So I'm definitely going to get one of these for myself. Don't know when, but it's going to happen. We're talking, of course, of the 6-shooter monster from First Strike, the Roscoe. This is everything I want in a sidearm. It is a little bit campy, a little bit badass, a little bit practical. It's kind of this good mix of everything. It shoots as straight as a 50 cal can shoot, especially when you're shooting 50 cal first strikes. It's got a really, really great weight to it. You know what? Let's talk about the technicality stuff. Let's talk the technical side of things. So the Roscoe is like, it's an all, the description I was told was all aluminum body. As far as I can tell, the entire thing is made of metal except for like the trigger guard, and these little caps on the handle which hide the CO2 cartridge. Everything else that I've handled on this seems to be, made of aluminum. Of course, the cylinders that go into this are not, they're plastic. And this larger cylinder here is also plastic. But everything else about it, everything that's really like forward on this is aluminum. It's got a great weight to it. Weighs about 2.6 pounds. So that's about 1.78 kilos for those of you that don't use pounds. I'm Canadian, so I bounce between the two of them depending on what I'm doing. Anyways, so micro honed barrel. So there is a barrel sleeve in here, which is a 50 cal barrel. Obviously looking at it, you can tell it's 50 cal. I would love to see a 68 cal version of this. It would look like Hellboy's revolver, but I think that'd be badass. So this thing's really cool. It shoots below 280. Full disclosure, I didn't chrono it, but shooting it, you can tell it's definitely shooting well below 280. I think this has to do with the fiasco that was caused by another revolver pistol that you couldn't change the velocity on, and that sucker was shooting 350, 360, and I chronoed that one personally. A lot of fields wouldn't let it on. They were like, nope, you can't play with it because you can't adjust the velocity. We're not going to get into that, so that's just what happened. This one shoots below 280. You can tell just by shooting it. If somebody else has chronoed it, please let me know in the comments what you came up with. That being said, you can get the high velocity valve for it, so you can swap the valve out. That valve will shoot above 280 guaranteed. Don't know how bad you need that. If you're running the revolver at 50 cal, you got to be getting up close and personal anyways. If you want it, get it. It's like $49 on DEFCON's website. Swap out to the new valve if you want. Otherwise, run the stock one. You're going to be fine. You just got to get a little closer. But you're running a 6-shooter. You got to be a badass if you're running a 6-shooter. So anyways, moving on. Safety on this is pretty cool. It's the blade trigger safety, so it won't fire unless you squeeze on the on that little bit there on the trigger, the safety, the actual blade on it. Oh my god, I can't think straight. It's just a trigger mechanism. It won't fire unless you squeeze the trigger properly. There we go. That's all I wanted to say. The hammer does do a thing. This is really cool. This is a really cool feature about this, and this is kind of what sold me on the Roscoe, was you got two options. One, you can just pull the trigger, and watch that hammer, boom, and it fires, because that's actually what does it. The hammer is actually releasing the CO2. Or if you want a hair trigger, you cock the hammer back, and then it's like a tenth of the trigger pull. It's so nice, so satisfying. Swapping out your cylinders, super easy. You just push the button, she splits in half. Problem solved. Swap in a new cylinder, load it, and away you go. So, like I said before, it's 50 cal. It does shoot 50 cal first strikes really, really well. It's just a solidly built marker. I want to go back to the weight of this thing at 2.6 pounds. Holding it in my hand, the grip feels phenomenal. I can hold that straight. I can hold that steady. And I don't feel like I'm going to get fatigued. You know, I mean, it's a pistol. I'm not going to be running an entire day with this in my hand. It'll go in a holster, like on my hip, or maybe some of you are going to run it on your chest. I don't know. I don't care. I prefer the leg holster myself. But anyways, that's besides the point. I wanted to say the weight feels really good. It is very forward. The weight is definitely like right here. You can feel it that it just wants to tip forward. But when you hold it in your hand kind of like locks onto that handle and you're golden. All the weight is just, you can feel it. It's forward, but it's not hurting my fingers at all. It's doing a great job of just being balanced in the sense that my hand is gripped properly and it feels good in the hand. The weight also gives it a feel of durability. This thing feels like it could go into a game with me and I don't have to worry about it. So really great construction, really great build. And just the look of it, just look at it. It just looks so good. Probably doesn't look as good with me in the video, but it looks so good. Picatinny on the top and the bottom here. You could run a sight on it if you want, or maybe a flashlight, a laser. I don't know, whatever the hell you want to run on it. I've seen some dudes looking at putting like the rubber knives on the end of it, making some like Destiny style markers. That'd be pretty cool. If you've got one of those, let me know. The paint job I'm seeing down on the Roscoes are looking phenomenal. It's great, great material to paint. Just sand it, paint it, away you go. Make sure you protect the valve, you know. Let's talk usage. Loading the CO2s into it, super simple. So on the bottom here, and you can't screw it up either. There's a little notch on the side here where you can fit your finger in. So you just pull that off. CO2 goes in here, pointing down, right? And then you just, boom, put that in, screw this tight. You'll hear it hiss, and then you're ready to rock and roll. Your CO2 is loaded. Problem solved. You can get a continuous air adapter on DEF CON's website. It just launched a couple days ago, where it runs in the bottom and you can run continuous air to this marker. It will run off HPA if you want to be that type of badass. I'm waiting to see somebody run 2 Roscoes like dual pistol and just demolish a field and make everybody cry. I want to see that. So you can run continuous air to it if you want. I know some folks love running continuous air to their pistols, even when they're running a tank in stock for their mag fed. You know, it's a great option. That's what I'm saying. It's a great option. In the box, when you buy the Roscoe, which you should, when you buy the Roscoe, you get the marker, you get a manual, you get 2 cylinders. So you get 2 of these things here. You can get more if you want. Again, DEF CON's website has them on sale. It's like $35, I think, for 2. And that's basically it. You get the stock valve, which again, run the high velocity if you want. Like if you want that extra reach, go with that high velocity. But I really feel like the low impact, or not the low impact, the low velocity is good enough. Really is just good enough. If you're running 50 cal on a sidearm, come on now. You don't need that range. Okay, enough chatting. Let's cut real quick. Let's go to the field. By the field, I mean my backyard. Let's fire off a couple of First Strike rounds out of this puppy, and let's just see what it's like, shall we? Let's see what it sounds like, what it looks like. All right, we'll be right back. Okay, so we're in the backyard. Nice, safe place where I can play around with the Roscoe and show you folks how well it shoots. I don't know, you can see that just downrange there. I've got a white bucket, a jug set up there. It's about 30 feet-ish. I don't know, I didn't really measure it out. I paced it out. You want science, go somewhere else. So let's find out how accurate the Roscoe is. Now, keep in mind, it's 50 cal. I'm going to be using 50 cal GI paint. I don't have any First Strikes. Otherwise, I'd be using those. That's your best bet. But I've got 50 cal GI paint. We're going to see how well it shoots. I'm not expecting miracles. It's a 50 cal marker, you know. But let's see if it at least shoots straight. So if I miss, it's a good chance it's me. Masks on, and let's do this. So as you can tell, I can't really count. I tried to shoot 7 times. But 6 out of 6 shots hit the target. That's pretty good. And it shot 50 cal paint pretty good. No breaks. There's no paint in the barrel. There's no breaks anywhere. That shot surprisingly well. And that's off of fresh CO2 as well. So there you go. As for chrono speed, I mean, I'm no expert and I don't have a chrono, but I would definitely say that is absolutely below 280. You know, I'm sure if I had somebody standing another 15 feet away, they could probably reach out and like catch the paintball. So that's it. Let's go back in the studio and finish up this video, shall we? See you in a second. I love it. I think this is an amazing marker. I don't think it's too heavy. I think it's the right weight. I think it's the right build. I love the look of it. Some folks are complaining about the length of the barrel. I think it's perfect. I think this thing is just a solid, well-made marker. And I love the fact that First Strike went out of their way and created something weird. You know, I know there's another 6-shooter on the market. There's a couple. This one feels, I don't know. I think it's the hammer. The fact that the hammer actually does that, like fires, is what makes this a little bit different to me. I really love that. I really love that action that happens there. But yeah, all in all, I think it's a phenomenal marker. Run CO2 in it, run constant air. You got your choices. I don't know what else to say about it other than like, it's a phenomenally well-made marker. It really is. It's a toy. No, it's not a toy. Sorry. It's actually, I'm pretty sure it says right on it somewhere that this is not a toy. This thing is not meant to be your primary. So I don't want to hear anybody complaining about that they're trying to play games with just the Roscoe and they're getting their ass handed to them. That's not what the Roscoe's for. If you're that good that you can do it, great. You're a better paintball player than I am. A lot of you are anyway, so it doesn't matter. What I want to say though is this thing is perfect for your sidearm. It's perfect to get you out of a sticky situation. It's gonna turn some heads at the paintball field. It's a badass marker and it's a thing you're meant to have fun with, right? So please don't take it too seriously. Don't think this thing is garbage because it's just a sidearm and it's just shooting 50 cal. This marker is phenomenal for having fun. It's exactly what it's for. It's for having fun. Okay. I love it. I think it's great. I see no issues with this marker. Honestly, I have not found any real issues with this. I mean, it's a sidearm for what it is. It's really, really well made. Honestly, I don't have any cons for it. It's all pros. It's all pros. So if you want to get one and you're in Canada, the best place to get it from, I think you can get them. Yeah, if you're American, you can order from DEF CON's website as well if you want. But big shout out to defconpaintballgear.com for sending me this so that I could do the review on it. Now I got to send it back to them. Lame, but it is what it is. If you want to get one, you're going to head on over to defconpaintballgear.com. Search Roscoe. You can find it. You can save yourself 10% using the code Maritimes, and it works on pretty much everything on their website. A handful of items it doesn't work on, but trust me, it's like the majority of items. So if you want to get a Roscoe, head on over to defconpaintballgear.com, look it up, find it, use the code Maritimes, score yourself 10%. If you want to hear more from me, you can check out my other videos, or you can come find me every Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Facebook, Maritime Paintball Podcast, where I'm doing a live podcast. I'm chatting with cool guests, I'm chatting with the commenters, whoever's in the chat with me, you know, that kind of thing. And sometimes I'm just rambling off into the abyss because that's all there is for me to do at that time. So that's it. I'm out of here. Let me know what you thought. Do you own a Roscoe? Do you want one? What are your thoughts on it? What do you think? Am I right? Am I wrong? Let me know what you think. That's it. I'm out of here. Cheers.